Hello, and welcome to another edition of Delta Media Group's Tech Tuesday. Today, I am going over something that is fairly new and should be useful to a lot of people, but more specifically useful to teams. It's pretty cool. It's lead delegation. So as a team member, it'll allow you to take a lead that comes in and belongs to the team as a whole and actually delegate that lead to a specific team member while still retaining the team's ownership over the lead. So we'll go through it and kind of explain it as we go along. So, into the DeltaNet. It's like magic, right? All right. So here we are on the welcome page of the DeltaNet, and this would be the welcome page of a team leader. So if you're a team leader and you log in, here's about what you'll get. Now as we scroll down, we can go to website, and then we have a link here that says go to team site. By clicking there, that takes me into the team site interface. And drum roll. There we go. So that takes me into the team site interface. Now from here I can manipulate anything that is specific to the team. So that's going to be any leads that belong to the team. All these settings will affect the team website, like this is the picture from the team website. That's the interface I'm looking at now. And if I go back down to team website and I click on go to personal site, that'll switch me back to my own personal site. So now as far as lead delegation goes, just like if I were on my own personal side and a lead was assigned to me, if I go to either the welcome page up here under home and welcome, you can see I see my unprocessed leads here, or I can go to customers and customer list. I can load up any of my leads here, but this isn't going to be specifically the unprocessed ones. However, the unprocessed one does show up here at the top. Or I can go to leads and contacts and leads, see my unprocessed leads there, or customers and customer center is another place where you will commonly go to see your unprocessed leads. So from here, we have our process request section up at the top that shows all of our unprocessed leads. See, we have a new lead that came in 10 minutes ago. Now, if I'm the team leader and I don't want to process this lead and send them out a reply on behalf of the team, I can decide that I want to delegate this to a specific team member. So to do that, I'll just click on the Delegate button. It'll open up this interface, and now I will take Assign Primary Agent, and I will select the person I want to delegate it to. After that, I just click the Update button. And then what it would do is delegate this lead to the person I specify. Now I can do this while the lead's still unprocessed, but I can also process this lead if I wanted to process it on behalf of the team and then delegate it out later on. The interface is roughly the same, but you won't get to it from here anymore. So let me go ahead and cancel out of this. And I'll go ahead and mark the lead as processed. So process lead, and I'm just going to process it manually. If I had sent an email, it would have sent an email to that customer on behalf of the team account. So in the from address and the branding on the email would have all been that of the team and not a specific agent. There we go. So now that I've processed that lead, it's not in my process request box anymore because it's no longer unprocessed. But if I go down to my customer list, it's like I'm making requests to the computer today, not really commands, you know what I mean? So go to my customer list. Now, as I've gone over in the customer list video, you can filter this by any criteria you want. But in this case, I don't need to filter it at all because I see the most recent lead right here at the top. So let's say that I've already processed this lead on behalf of the team, and maybe I've even incubated it a bit on behalf of the team. So I've sent some marketing emails out to this customer. I've had them in an email campaign. I've sent them some e-cards, and now they're really interested. So what I want to do is delegate this to an agent so that that one agent can work it directly. So to do that, I'll just click on Actions. I'll go down here and click on Delegate, and you can see the same Delegate interface. So I'll go ahead and choose someone. I can choose not to send them the notification email. So let's say, what if I'm sitting in the room with them when I do it? I can check that box to prevent the notification email from going out because they don't need to be notified. I'm standing right next to them, so they already know that I gave it to them. And when I have that the way I want, I'll click Update. And that's all there is to it. So that lead has now been delegated out to that other agent. Let me refresh this page here. There we go. So now my customer list is back up. You can see that we have this lead here at the top. If I click the plus sign, and this is just due to the width of my browser window, if my browser window were wider, this column would automatically show up here. But since it is not wide enough, if I click the plus sign, it'll load up these columns below it. And you can see that the owner of this lead is Dan Hall. So I'm still in as the team, and I can see all the leads I've delegated out because they still belong to the team, essentially. But by clicking this plus sign and looking at the owner, that's who I've delegated it to. So from here, let's say I want to see all of the leads that I've delegated to Dan Hall. So I'll go up here. I think it is under miscellaneous. Actually, I forget which one it's under. Initial source, any source. And we'll refresh the page here. There we go. So I'm looking at both processed and unprocessed leads, and here we are, delegated. It was probably there before, and I was looking right past it. Delegated to. So if I click here, I can see everyone that I have delegated leads to. So in this case, I've only delegated leads to Dan. So if I click his name, it'll save it there, and I can click search. And now it's showing me only the leads that I've delegated out to Dan. So the nice thing here is I can use this customer list functionality and this filter functionality to say, what if I want only leads that have made a recent request? So let's say in the last 7 days. And I can filter by any other criteria I want. But let's say only activity in the last 7 days and delegated to Dan. So if I wanted to do that, I can put those filters in and I can search. And now that I see all these leads with recent activity, I could actually select here and open. And let's say I have 20 leads here. I can click this to select all. It'll select all 20, and when I click open, it'll take me to this page where I can next through each one. So I'll know they're all agents with recent activity, and if I want to keep track of my team members to make sure that they're going in and taking care of each one of these leads as we go through, I bring up the ones with recent activity, and then I'll check here. I'll look at the notes section, see if there have been any recent notes. I can scroll down to history, see if there's anything in the history as to recent activity or what the customer recently did. And then I can just click on next. And then it'll take me to the next one. Now there's only one here, so it doesn't, there's not much to next through. But if I had 20, I could just go through each one really quickly, see if they've had any activity on them. If they haven't, and I know they had recent, they did something recently, but we haven't contacted them recently, I could then ask that agent if they've contacted them recently, if they've done anything recently. So it's a really easy way to go through the leads that belong to the team, but are delegated out to agents to be handled. Now, the other thing I can do as part of the delegation system, go back to our customer list here. There we go. And if we go to pick those that are delegated to Dan again and search. So here we are. Now let's say I've decided that for whatever reason I want to take this lead back. Either the team member left the team, or maybe this team member isn't handling this particular lead anymore, so you want to hand it off to somebody else. Or you just want to take it back and handle it as the team because maybe they're not as interested as they were before. So you want to take it back and kind of start incubating it from the team side again. You can just go here to Actions and down to Delegate, and you can click the Reclaim This Customer checkbox. And by doing so, again, you have the option to not send the notification email. You can even redelegate it from here, but in this case, we're reclaiming it. So I'll hit Update. And now what it's done is it's reassigned that lead back to the team. So it's no longer delegated to the team member. So now I can market to it on behalf of the team as a whole again, instead of just marketing to it as the team member. The biggest thing here is when you've delegated out a lead to a team member, they become the only one that can use the marketing tools with that customer at that point. So things like email campaigns, e-cards, email blasts, all of those things will work from the team member's perspective when the lead is delegated to them. And then when you've reverted it back to the team, that customer will then appear in the all the different campaign sections, e-blasts, e-cards, all that stuff, so that you're sending all that on behalf of the team from that point on and not the team member. So there you go. That's all there is to it. Just a quick recap. Under Customer Lists or on the Customer Center, if it's an unprocessed lead, you can find a lead under Actions and Delegate. You can select the agent you want to delegate it to. That customer is now working with that agent. If you want to reclaim it, you do the same thing. You find that customer on your customer list, go to Actions, Delegate, click the Reclaim This Customer box and hit Update, and that will give it back to the team. So there you go. That's all there is to it, as always. Thank you very much for joining me this week. I hope that the team delegation system is something that you really get a lot of use out of and really works well for you. If you have any questions, concerns, feel free to comment on the video on either Facebook or YouTube, or send an email into support@deltagroup.com, or give us a call. And like and subscribe. You'll get notifications of all the new videos as we go live with them. So thanks a lot for joining me, and I will see you again next week.